So we're in a magical world where pub gardens and races exist, and you've got a race tomorrow. You've got a million pairs of shoes, but only one pair of feet. Which shoes do you wear? Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Running Man Sam, and today we're going to be looking at the best carbon plated racer that you can get. Now, I don't have all the carbon plated shoes, unfortunately. I do have quite a few. As you can see, there's a few here, there's one in the background, I've got another pair down here. So we're just going to be going over some of the ones that I do have and what one I think I would pick if I had a race tomorrow in this magical world where races existed. Gear day for me as well yesterday. Got some new tops, lovely jazzy colours, I love that. So guys, if you enjoy running shoes as much as this shoe mad person does, then please make sure you like and subscribe to this channel so that you can hear all my thoughts on all these shoes and also some runner specific workouts that I'll be bringing to the channel. Cheers. Let me know in the comments your favourite carbon plated racing shoe, whether you agree with what I've said today, whether you think there's one that I'm missing that I should really get hold of, and also which carbon plated racing shoe you're most looking forward to coming out in the future. Is it the Next Percent 2, or is it the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro or X? So as you can see from the shot here, I've got the Nike Alphafly, Vaporfly Next Percent Custom with the OG upper, Vaporfly 4%, Adidas Adizero Adios Pro, Adizero not Adios Pro, underneath here, the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent not Custom Sale Edition, as in the colourway Sale, that is absolutely battered. I don't have any other carbon plated racing shoes yet. I've got so many shoes, I need to be able to justify it, and with races not on at the moment, I haven't really been able to justify buying another pair of shoes when I still have all these ones here for racing. I'll talk about these today, and then, you know, it's hard to say for a fact because I haven't tried them, but these are ones that I wanted to pick. I had the option available to pick any of them when I was looking to buy a racing shoe. These were the ones that I settled for, and we'll go over why. We'll just do a brief overview of each of the shoes, not going into too much detail because we'll be here forever. So we've got a very breathable upper on both the Adizero Adios Pro and the Adios Pro. I know they've got so many similar names, but their upper is the same. The Adizero Pro, the black one, we'll say, because if I keep saying Adizero 100 times, you're going to be confused which one I'm talking about, because I'm already confused. So this black Adidas Adizero shoe has got light strike in the foam and boost in the heel just going underneath, and it has got a carbon plate in it, but it's not as stiff as some of the other ones. We've got really good grip on the bottom here. So for me, if we're looking at this shoe, this isn't a racing shoe personally. It does feel really snappy, it does feel fun, it is quite a firm ride, it is responsive, but there's not a lot of stack heights, and the light strike is quite a firm foam, so I wouldn't be using this for a half marathon, a marathon, anything like that. I have raced a 10k in it and it wasn't too bad, and I've raced a 5k in it. But for me, this is now in my rotation as like a tempo day shoe or an interval day shoe. So if we move on to the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro, the pink one, we can see that it is absolutely beautiful. I think this shoe just looks so awesome. It's very similar upper, in fact identical upper to the other Adidas shoe in the background. Very breathable, great fit upper. Both of these shoes fit true to size. We've got Adidas's new foam in here, their Light Strike Pro, which is very responsive and it is very cushioned, but it's not necessarily super soft, which is something that I like in a racing shoe. I like maybe my easy recovery day shoes to be nice and soft, like a lovely bouncy pillow, but I tend to like these to be a little bit firmer, not necessarily like a brick under my foot, but just something that's going to keep me a bit stable, give me that inherent stability there where I'm not sort of falling over myself. So you've got no grip whatsoever on this, but we do. This is brilliant in wet weather. You can actually check out my Adidas Adizero Adios Pro versus the Alphafly, where I go into a bit more detail about these things. But for me, as a racing shoe, now if I have a half marathon or a marathon, this is a shoe that I'm going to wear. It's the cheapest of all the carbon plated racing shoes here at £160. Okay, it's the least available at the moment, but I just think Adidas has done an amazing job with this. It's incredibly innovative. With instead of a carbon plate, we've got carbon rods, which imagine like these are the carbon rods with my fingers here. They sit underneath your metatarsals and your toe and act as sort of individual springs, kind of like the carbon plates here do. But yeah, I just love it. I just love racing in this shoe, and it feels very, very stable. So if we talk about the Nike Next %, this is a custom version. As you can see, I've got a little bit of customization there with a little bit of a wolf. Love a wolf, that's why I've got a tattoo of one. We've got the OG upper here, which is more of a mesh upper rather than the Vaporweave stuff. So for me, this is an incredible racing shoe. I prefer this to the Alphafly. Okay, so it's not the super most stable shoe in the universe. I'm plating this, it feels like a sort of, like a heavy tablespoon. As you sort of step here, this just, well, hey, we'll leave that in. It's forward, flings you forward. So responsive, like a rocket. Whenever you put this on, it's sort of like the placebo effect as well. You know that you're just going to be smashing it, you know you're going to run fast, you just feel like a gazelle when you're running in it. Okay, so for all you Alphafly lovers out there, it does look cool, I'm not going to lie, it looks cool. And I don't want everyone to think I hate on this shoe. I want to really love this shoe. I wouldn't have spent £2 billion on this shoe if I didn't want to enjoy it. So let's talk performance first before we get into why I wouldn't use this shoe. So performance wise, this shoe is brilliant, okay? The foam, just like in the Vaporfly Next %, is so bouncy and responsive. It doesn't make you, the way I always describe it is it doesn't make you necessarily faster. You don't go from running like a 5-minute mile to a 4-minute mile. It just makes running faster easier, so you feel like you put less effort in to get the same result, if that makes sense. With the AirPods as well, these little Zoom Air units that we've got underneath, it just feels like you've got a secret weapon on your foot. It really does. It just throws you through the air. Fastest half marathon in this shoe, although I do think I could have done it as well in this shoe, but that's besides the point. So when you've got a race, okay, you want to wear something that's going to be fast. You want to wear something that's going to give you a good advantage. But it's not always just about speed. It's also about protecting your feet. So yes, we've got a load of protection here with the foam, and that might save fatigue on your legs. But for me, the issue here is the midfoot. It comes right in on you can't see it so much here, but actually inside the shoe, it comes right in on my midfoot. In so much that my foot actually sort of hangs over the insole or the inner sole size. So my toes have got loads of room in here, and my toes can splay out nicely. But just here, it just feels horrible. And every time I've run in this shoe and had a race, I've had a fantastic result with the time for me. I've done a 1:21 half marathon in this shoe, which is pretty decent for a guy my size. I was chuffed with it. But just afterwards, my arch was in so much pain. I've also had pain in my metatarsals when running in this shoe. I know there's a couple of other guys that follow me on Instagram, @runningman_Sam, that we've been speaking about that have had very similar issues with plantar fasciitis running in this shoe. You might not get the same issue, you've got different feet than me, you might not imagine it at all, but all I can say is what I experience, and for me, the cons outweigh the pros on this. The pain and putting me off my training schedule and all those sorts of things outweigh saving, let's say 10 seconds. I'd rather have a 10-second slower time than have to miss loads of training sessions because I've got metatarsal pain or because I've got arch pain. And I think most people would agree with that. It's something to look out for. Quickly cover over this. So this is very similar to my customised one, except we've got the Vaporweave here. I actually prefer the mesh upper to the Vaporfly. Once you get water in there, it doesn't come back out again. So the first time I raced in these shoes, I was livid because they're brand new white shoes, 20-mile race, and there's a massive puddle in the middle of the race course that you cannot avoid. So I had to go through it. They went from being white to brown, and the water that was in here pretty much sat in here for the whole duration of the run, because it stops the water coming in as rain, but if you go through a puddle and the water gets in like here, it doesn't get back out again. This is a great shoe to run in as well. If there was a 5k race, and there's no reason why I wouldn't wear this shoe. I just wouldn't necessarily pick it over my custom or normal Vaporfly Next percent. So because I have it in my rotation, I use it, but if I didn't have it, I wouldn't need to go out and buy it over this. So to answer the question that I started with at the beginning, if I had a race tomorrow, what shoe would I pick? If I can only pick one, no matter the race, I would pick this shoe. If I had a choice between two types of shoes for two types of races, I would run in this for a 5k or a 10k, run in this for a half marathon or marathon. I love the feel of this foam. I feel more in control in this shoe rather than just putting the shoes on, holding them for dear life and just hoping I survive. So anyway guys, as always, these have been some super duper running shoes. I've been Running Man Sam, and I'll see you guys in a bit.